And welcome back to Daily Wrap. It's potluck time. This is the part of the show where we go around the table and share our favorite stories of the day. Rick Unger, you are head chef tonight.
So, given all the additional grief that Hillary is now facing, it got into my mind this morning, what if Hillary doesn't run? And I spent a lot of the day calling up Democratic pals and saying, what are we going to do if Hillary doesn't run? Everybody's pretty much made up their mind this is what it's going to be. The money's being raised. What if she doesn't run? So I compiled a list of candidates that I think are realistic, and I want everybody to weigh in on them. That's what we're going to do tonight. That's the game we're going to play. Jim Webb.
I like him.
I can go with him.
You can go with him.
I don't know enough about him.
Okay. Andrew Cuomo.
No.
Big thumbs down from everybody. Democrat. Yeah. Former Governor Deval Patrick of Massachusetts. Not a chance, right?
No.
Governor Brian Schweitzer.
I do. I like Schweitzer. I find him really, really interesting. He's compelling as a governor. Very states' rightist for a Democrat.
Don't know enough about him.
Don't know enough about him.
Well, see, you guys are showing how well educated you are among the Democrats. Aren't we a television political talk show?
Yeah, but I'm a right-wing extremist.
Well, that doesn't matter. You've got to know the other side.
Rick, I bet if you went down the street right now and you asked people the same question,
they wouldn't either.
They wouldn't know
That's what we're
most
here
of those
for.
names.
We're here to instruct them.
Most people
Here's
wouldn't know
one that
about
I know
Warren.
you're all going to love. Senator Bernie Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
Is he a Democrat or is he a socialist?
He's a socialist and he's an independent.
He
could run as a Democrat.
Well, he's planning on running anyway, right?
That's, I think, the primary list. I'll tell you what, it's Jim Webb, in my estimation. It's Jim Webb. Jim Webb, although he's done something strange, and I've been trying to track him down the past few days. He came out, did a little bit of a flurry about the fact that he was going to explore this, and he's thinking about it, and then he truly disappeared. Now, I don't know if he's tracking Hillary's strategy and waiting for her to emerge or what he's doing, but he's vanished, and I don't know if he's still running.
That's another thing. I think that Republicans are spending money right now to prepare to have to beat her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if she doesn't jump in the race, it's a lot of wasted money.
It's a lot of wasted money for the Republicans.
You
That's
didn't
a
mention
very fair point.
You didn't mention one name.
Which one?
Elizabeth Warren.
No, because there's no way that Elizabeth Warren runs.
No way.
Even if
Didn't
Hillary
we try this
doesn't run.
first-term senator as president thing before? Haven't we done that?
Well, I don't think that's
She
necessarily
has the most
fatal.
enthusiasm in terms of her
She
supporters.
does, and there could be an effort to draft her. But Elizabeth Warren is a remarkably smart woman, and as a smart person, she knows that she cannot win a general election in the United States today.
Not even though she's an American Indian.
Even though she's
164th Cherokee.
You
So
guys
she can open
are
a
so
casino, though.
snarky.
But I think the overall theme here, though, the overall theme is that there's no bench. There is no plan B.
I couldn't agree with you more.
So what?
This is a big problem for the Democrats. There really isn't a plan
It's almost
B.
like they've pushed her into having to do it at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with because.
And plan A, I get the feeling there isn't a lot of enthusiasm behind. The only enthusiasm is that she's the only candidate that we have that could beat a Republican.
Well, also,
right now.
nobody wants to, be in her wrath. Nobody wants to challenge her because, whether they
That's
win or
a good
lose.
trait for a president.
Yeah, but here, well, no Democrats do. Republicans will challenge her all day, but I don't think anybody just wants to get in her way because they think that's the end of their Democratic career.
And that's the last word on that course. Bill, you have the second shift.
All right. Well, let me begin by asking you this: we have an ally in the world, runs a stable democracy, a growing stable economy. It is pluralistic in who it lives in the country. Mm-hmm. They come to this country at the invitation of the Speaker of the House, and the President of the United States not only ignores him, the President disses him and says, you know what, I didn't pay attention to his speech. Prime Minister of Israel and the country of Israel has been our ally and arguably the most stable country in the region for decades upon decades. How does a president, I don't care whether they're Republican or Democrat, do what this president did? I was outraged.
I'd like to answer that.
Shoot.
I had a feeling
I'm
you
just
might.
going to respond by asking you this question. How does an Israeli prime minister, where he has a country who has also been his staunchest ally since the very beginning of his existence, make the decision to conspire to come to the United States without being even polite enough to inform the president that he's coming?
Well, maybe perhaps, first of all, the invitation was public. It wasn't private. And second, the president has his own campaign aides in attack Israel.
That's inaccurate.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, that's inaccurate. I've heard it too many times. I'm going to set it straight. There are some people who worked for the president who have
Okay.
been in their own business for 3 years, and guess what? They're allowed to make a living.
Yeah.
And making a living, they were hired by the candidates over there to do the job.
Did you watch the speech, though?
Yes,
the
I
first
did.
thing he did, he thanked Harry Reid. He gave him nothing but accolades.
He's very smart. It
thanked
was a
Nancy
smart
Pelosi.
speech.
I think he took the high road. I think he displayed
agree.
true leadership.
I agree.
And I think that the fact that the president should have been there, and I think the president not being there after seeing the speech.
Wasn't invited.
He was invited.
No, he wasn't invited.
Look,
You know
he's
what?
the
He
president of the
doesn't
United States.
have
If
to
he wants
even
to show up
agree
in
with
Congress, he
Excuse
shows
me,
up.
you don't just get to say he was invited. He was not
Carl,
invited.
Carl, you're missing a big point. He did read the transcript.
Yes,
he
he did.
didn't watch the speech.
And I suspect he did watch the speech.
And that's the thing.
That would be my guess.
And on that note, actually, they counted. He had over 10 standing ovations, Netanyahu, and what was the best speech probably before Congress in years. Anyway, when we come back, more potluck, including my own. This is the Daily Wrap, and it's only on Newsmax TV. And welcome back to the Daily Wrap. I'm your host, Joe Concha, and if you're just joining us, we're in the middle of our potluck, where we're sharing our favorite stories of the day. Carl Higbee, what are you serving up?
Okay, so the White House is trying to ban .223 rounds. They failed at being able to ban the M4. So
Define a 223 round.
A .223 round is the M4 or the assault rifle ammunition. So they are saying that these can zip through bulletproof vests. They're actually specifically banning the green tips, which is a armor-piercing thing. But the fact of the matter is, the armor. Being in the military, I've shot all this type of ammo. The armor-piercing version of a .223 round, which is a 22 bullet, it's not a very big bullet. It's the size of a smaller than a thumbtack. The 30-06, 300 Win Mag, the 50 cal, all readily available, will go through 3 to 4 times as much substance as a .223 round. But they're not trying to ban those. They're clearly trying to ban the .223 round to deprive people who own M4s, AR-15s, the assault rifles. Ban them from using them, discourage them from buying them. That is the writing on the wall here.
Yeah, and I'm right with you, and I think it's ridiculous. I learned to shoot on a 22, and the 223. You're right, is just barely any bigger, indiscernibly so.
Right.
So I don't like this play, because I think that once he does it, if he could successfully do it, he will then move on to the 30 caliber. Then he will move on to the 50 caliber. There won't be any stopping up.
Until we have nothing left except for right-wing nutjobs like me.
Wow. Do you think it'll ever get to that point? You get rid of assault rifles and eventually gets down to...
I think he's going to fail at this. If he tries to strike this down by executive fiat, I think it's going to get struck down and it's going to get challenged. We got groups like the NRA are definitely going to push this one over. But there is no way that he can legally do this. In my mind, I'm not a lawyer, but I think this is a clear example of him failing in one thing and moving to the next best.
Rick, I want to follow with something first, because I think sometimes terms are used on television and we all assume the audience knows what it means. Define what an executive fiat is.
Well, there's no such thing as an executive fiat. It's his snarky way of saying executive order.
Yes.
Okay, I tried to bait him, and it
Yeah.
didn't quite work.
Yeah, I just want to make...
Can I ask you a question? Because I really don't know anything about ammunition. Is there a greater protective benefit in that type of ammunition than a regular 22 or something?
Well, here's the thing: is that a .223 round, the M4 round, leaves the chamber at about 2,900 feet per second and is smaller than the tip of an eraser. But yet you have a 300 Win Mag, which is leaving well over 3,000 feet per second.
None of that means a thing to me. Is it deadlier?
It's a bigger round. It's a much more powerful round. Not only will it zip through a vest, it'll knock that person over and then kill the person behind him. And what happens
how is that advantageous?
The thing is, it's the argument that it's getting our people on the streets killed. Handguns kill people. M4s and assault rifles are such a small...
I accept that. I'm just curious what the benefit of being able to have that kind of ammo is.
You know what it is? It's a popular target round. It's fast. It's light. You can carry a ton of them. The difference between an armor-piercing and a non-armor-piercing round really has no bearing. Cops don't even wear hard protection vests anyway.
So is it primary for a target scenario?
Yeah, absolutely.
So would it
round.
be a terrible idea to have it available to shooting ranges where you go to shoot targets?
But then you'd have to buy it.
You'd buy it there.
And then you could take it home with you or something. You can't say which ammo. That's like going to a library saying you can't read a fiction, but you can read a nonfiction.
I mean, I understand the point you're making in terms of, don't limit what I'm allowed. I'm allowed to have it.
Right.
I'm just curious if there's a real benefit of some sort to it.
It's just a very popular, cheap, fast, easy round to shoot.
And I think precedent. I think
Yeah.
precedent.
Really
Precedent.
precedent.
Right, and you used the word target before, and that's a perfect transition over to my potluck, which again has been stepped on by one of our panelists, and I'm only down to 2 minutes. Anyway, you may have read today, woes at Target. They're actually targeting, no pun intended, 10,000 jobs they're going to cut. It's all in an effort to save $2 billion for the stores. So you sit back and you wonder, okay, well, why is Target in trouble? I mean, I go there sometimes, albeit
Target.
It's got a nice upper class ring to it, but it goes back to a theory that I have around the fate of most department stores, and that is they are all going to die probably a faster death than we know. And here's why. Amazon is so damn convenient. Yeah. It's to the point now. I do it when I'm walking into the shower. Oh, we need this. I'm out of deodorant. I'm out of soap. I could go to ShopRite and get that, or I could go to Target if I need a garbage can. But I just order it and it comes to my house. Sometimes in a day, sometimes in 2 days.
Same-day delivery.
In the city, they get it here.
What do you buy?
In the city, they get it here in under an hour. So what? I'm sorry.
What do you buy?
Well, it's funny because I was ordering something during a commercial.
Let me do that.
Oh no, you don't want to.
Let me do that. Oh, you can't be serious.
Okay.
Let me read you Joe's list.
4,000
Peppa Pig, my birthday party, which is on the way.
I have a baby daughter.
Hefty odor block tall kitchen trash bags.
We're out of trash bags.
Thermos Nissan Intac
I
hydration
ordered
water
toilet paper the
bottle.
other day. It
Actually,
came
I
in a
like that.
box
That's a
bigger
good
than
thing. That hydration bottle.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Rubbermaid commercial desk side recycling container in medium green.
Yeah. I didn't want the blue.
He's an
Papermade profile
eco-friendly guy.
retractable ballpoint pens, but you don't buy anything fun, man. Another Firmus vacuum. What are you, a water addict? I mean, you got.
I actually am. Yeah.
A Novatel MiFi for.
Yeah, the
Jesus,
wireless thing when
Joe,
I'm on the go.
Joe, first of all, you're spending way too much.
We gotta go.
We're
But it
putting well
keeps going,
here, but
and
dude,
that was only over the last 48 hours that I've ordered
my
all that.
goodness.
So the point is, Amazon, convenient, going to the store, maybe not so much. Anyway, that's all for Potluck. Next is Yay or Nay. This is the Daily Wrap, only on Newsmax.